in Los Angeles. Maybe 115 years ago. Vivekananda was asked by a young American lady, what is life? Vivekananda says, come with me, I will teach you. Come with me to India. Then she asks, tell me exactly what you will teach me. Vivekananda says, I will teach you how to die. First answer he says, the question itself, the question is about life, but the answer is, I will teach you how to die. Vivekananda explains, knowing how to die is the first lesson every living being has to learn. Next thing, if you know the secret of death, the very quality of your life will be different. The very quality of your life, your understanding about the life, your thinking about the life, the whole thing will be transformed. Please do not think like death is one more incident in your life. Death is not one incident which happens in the end of your life. No. The concept of death continuously permeates your whole thinking, your whole consciousness, your whole being. When the idea about death is clear, if you know how to die, you will know how to live. Living and leaving, both are two sides of the same coin. The whole Nityananda Spurana program is about living and living. By giving the solid experience, or the conscious experience about death, your consciousness will be transformed. Your idea about life will be transformed. Naturally you will live a totally different life. Your life will be totally different. Let me explain the word Nityananda Spurana. Nitya Ananda means eternal bliss. Spurana means life, very core, flowering. The Spurana word can't be translated exactly by a single word. It is a concept. You can't use a single word to translate the Spurana in English. You can say Spurana means flowering, flowing, the very life itself, core itself. Continuously in all of us, the eternal bliss is flowing. Continuously, the eternal bliss is happening in all of us. It is we who stop it. It is we who create more and more obstacles. These 2 days, you are going to just stop the process of stopping. You are just going to stop the process of stopping. Continuously we are stopping the bliss flowing, bliss flowering. Now we will see that we stop that stopping process. Before entering into the session, into the class, I want to take an oath. Whatever I am going to speak is truth. It's nothing but truth. You may be thinking, why should I take an oath? Usually, you don't listen to anybody. Please be very clear. We never listen. Even if you sit out of politeness, you do not allow the words to penetrate you and transform you. First thing, we may be sitting here and we will not, you can say, continuously you will be arguing with yourself. You will be arguing with whatever is expressed. If at all you manage to be a little relaxed, if at all you convince yourself to believe, even then you will not allow these words to penetrate you. You will just sit. The words will pass you. That's all. You never allow these words to penetrate you. Whenever somebody says something, if it suits with your understanding, your logic, you take those words. If it goes beyond your logic, you start suspecting, maybe he is saying all these things for his own vested interests. We never believe anything. We never trust anything. We never allow any words to penetrate. Whenever you enter into a conversation, you always have a shield. You always have a shield. You protect yourself continuously. Even when you are sitting and talking with somebody, you don't listen. You are continuously preparing your answer. You let him talk so that he will let you talk. That's all. You let him talk so that he will let you talk. The conversation never happens in our life. He just speaks. When he speaks, you are preparing your reply. The moment he stops, you start and never the conversation happens. It is just each one trying to, it's almost like a fight. You may not be loud, you may not be indecent, but internally it is always fight. We never listen, we forgot listening. We do not know how to listen. Here, I request you to listen. That's the reason I take the oath. I am taking the oath. Whatever I am speaking is truth. Sometimes you need to express the truth as it is. Please understand. Truth, when it is expressed as it is dangerous for your life. Because your life is vested on lies. Your life is built on lies. Your life is built on false insurances. I always tell people, all life insurance is death insurance. Be very clear. Who will get, what is life insurance? After you die, somebody else will get the money. Who is waiting for it? And your insurances are surely not life insurances. They are just false security. What can you do? Whatever insurance you may have, can it postpone your death even a single day? Or can it transform the quality of your death? No. Whatever we know as life, it is built on lies. All our vested interests, all our inspiration sources, you see, the inspiration source decides the direction of your life. But our very inspiration source, the very root of our inspiration is a lie. From lie, asatya or mithya. then how can you expect the life to go in the path of truth? Life to lead you to the truth. Here, I am trying to express the truth as it is. Naturally, it will hurt. It will hurt all your vested interests. There is a beautiful Zen story. Master is like a rotating, dynamic diamond. We are also diamond, but covered with little carbon, little mud. When the diamond which is covered with a mud, uncut diamond, if it goes near the master, automatically it will be cut and polished. But in the process, you need to lose the carbon. You need to lose unnecessary things which is covered on you. So whatever lie covered on your being, covering the diamond, naturally it will disappear. It has to be taken away. Only then you can shine. That's why the Buddhists they say Manipatmeham. In the lotus heart, the jewel resides. When a truth is uttered or understood, it completely transforms whatever lies you are carrying, whatever amount of carbon you collected, whatever unnecessary things you accumulated, all those things will drop. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes truth hurts. Here, we are going to work with the truth. We are going to inquire into the truth. That's a beautiful line, sutra, with which Brahma Sutra starts. Atato Brahma Jinyasat. Let us inquire into the truth. Let us inquire into the reality. Let us inquire into the Brahman. Brahman means truth, reality. Now, we have decided, let us inquire into the truth. It means what? We will have the courage to work with the truth. We will have the intensity to go behind it. One more thing, truth is so dangerous. Please be very clear. The moment you understand, it transforms your life, even if you don't want. So anybody who is afraid of transformation, still you have time. Because it will start haunting you. It will start straight away working on you. The ultimate truth never waits. The moment you understand, it starts working on you. The moment you understand, the process starts. Here, we are going to work on the ultimate truth. Truth about our life, truth about our death. Let me tell you a small story. It's not even a story, it's a history incident happened. How this technology or this formula happened to me. This whole 2 days program is a formula. It's a technology through which I am trying to transmit or reproduce the same experience which happened in me. I always tell people, scientist is a person who creates a formula to reproduce the things of the outer world. Master is a person who creates a formula to reproduce the experiences of the inner world. So this technology, of course, I'm happy, I can be a little proud. This works, the technology works. At least 1 million people have took these meditations. At least 1 million people have experienced the the transforming power of these meditation techniques. This technology to reproduce the same experience which happened in me. That's what I call Nityananda Spurana. How this technology happened to me. How I designed. I was staying in Varanasi. Varanasi is a headquarters of Hinduism, practically. Every Hindu is expected to visit Varanasi at least once in his life. And every day floating population is 7 lakh, 700,000 people. Every day go inside the city and come out. 700,000 floating population. I was staying in Varanasi. There was an elderly monk, sannyasi, was sick. I was attending him. I think if you attended Gita Jnananya, I told this story. Anyhow, how many of you have not done Gita Jnananya? You have not attended Gita Jnananya? Oh, there are so many. Alright, I'll tell the story. Elderly monk. He was sick. I was taking care of him. Usually the sannyasis, they take care of the other swamis. Young swamis are expected to take care. The elderly swamis are sick. In North India, still the tradition is there. Respecting sannyasis and all those things. South India has gone to dance. In North, the tradition of giving food continuously, all those great things are. In North India, the whole tradition is alive. Somehow I don't know what happened to South. Anyhow, North, the whole thing is alive. I was taking care of him. That time, I can say unfortunately, I had to see one person dying in the ICU. I was in the ICU, intensive care unit. Intensive care unit. Of course, it's care unit only. Intensive care unit. After that, they carried us. Intensive care unit, ICU. At the time, I was not enlightened, but I could see how that soul is leaving the body. That suffering, that struggle I was able to see. First, the tremendous pain. The whole being was filled with pain. Tremendous pain. It's like if you cut half an inch your finger, how much of pain you feel. This being is cut 6 feet long. Completely the being and the body is disconnected. The tremendous pain, I could feel very clearly what is happening there. What was happening there. The pain was too much. I thought that I should not stand there and see the whole scene. I wanted to escape. But I cannot run because the Swami, I have to take care of the Swami. Any moment he may pass away. He may die. So I have to take care of him. I have to stand there. Not only the pain, after a few moments, I saw suddenly the being fell into the coma, unconsciousness. Actually, coma is automatic painkiller mechanism. If the pain becomes too much, unbearable, automatically you fall in coma, so that your being is, at least your being doesn't feel the pain. Being has fallen into coma, unconscious state. The moment being fell into the unconscious state, the worst thing is whole samskaras, the engraved memory is opened. See, as long as you are conscious, you can balance your mind and live. The moment you fall into the dream state, what happens? Simply those thoughts comes up and your dream is not under your control anymore. You are not the leader in your dream. Simply a dog chases you in the dream, or elephant chases you, or a snake is trying to attack you. Your own dream, but you are not the master. Whatever you suppressed, whether your fear or anger or desires, it just comes up and it is moving this side and that side. Your dreams are not under your control because you are unconscious. The frequency of thoughts is more than the frequency of your consciousness. The number of thoughts is too much. So naturally, your dreams are not under your control. Of course, if at all our dreams are under our control, what types of dream always you will have? We know. Of course, the dreams are not under our control. Same way, the moment the being slips into the unconsciousness, the thoughts which is happening in your inner space is completely out of control. It's like inside this room, 10 people are standing and kicking one football. One football from this side to that side and this car to that car, and if it is kicked, how the football suffers. Same way, I saw very clearly the being suffering. One side all the desires are kicking that football. The other side all the guilt. On the third side, all the pain memories. The fourth side, all the pleasure memories are pulling. The football is just pull and push, kick this side and that side. And I could see the being suffering in that intense burning. That is what we call hell. Actually, hell is not geographical, it is psychological. Hell is not geographical. Be very clear. Hell is psychological. You don't go to hell, you carry your hell. You don't go to hell, you carry your hell. Just like a tent, you carry when you go for a picnic. You open the tent and install. Just like that. You carry your hell wherever you go and just you open and install. Whenever you need. You carry whatever is necessary to create hell. To create a tent, what all is necessary? These pillars, the sheet. Just like that, you carry all the ingredients, all the things which is necessary to create hell. And wherever you go, you just create it. I was able to see very clearly how the being suffered, how the being was struggling, how the being was suffering to get out or to move into the path, into the next life. It was a tremendous suffering. One more thing, when you suffer too much, you will feel like time is not moving. Time is eternal. That is why we always say hell is eternal hell. It is not chronologically eternal, but psychologically you will feel like time is not moving. You can see in your life when you sit with somebody, some friend with whom you feel connected or close, even if 10 hours passes, suddenly you realize, whoa, what happened? How time passed. If you are sitting with somebody who is continuously boring you, with whom you don't feel comfortable, what do you do? Every 10 minutes you see the watch. Every 10 minutes you think, watch stopped or what? Time is not moving. Time is psychological, it is not chronological. That is why in the Vedic system, the time is measured as kshana. Kshana means gap between one thought and the other thought. Gap between one thought and the other thought. If you can create gap between one thought and the other thought, little more gap. See, if you can create more gap between one thought and the other thought, your kshana can be even 1 year. For a restless person, kshana is microsecond. For a restless person, his kshana is microsecond. Person who is peaceful, relaxed, for him, the kshana can be in 1 year. More the gap between two thoughts, more you will be blissful. The more you are restless, more you will be suffering. That is why we say, for devatas, for the higher level beings, our 1 year is 1 day for them. Because the gap between the thoughts is less. For them, what is 1 day is for us 1 year. Because we have too many number of thoughts. Their kshana is too big. Our kshana is too small. When I saw the being suffering, for me it looked like just few seconds. But for the being, it's eternal. Because whenever you suffer, you feel like time is not moving. Time is not moving. Anyhow, somehow the being died, but that memory, the pain was there inside me continuously. It never disappeared. That if you see an accident, at least next 3 days you won't be able to eat. If you see an accident directly, how you suffer for next 3 days? Same way, I was suffering with that pain after seeing the whole thing. That sometimes, if you don't get extraordinary powers, you are saved. Sometimes these extraordinary powers, they disturb you too much. And you will be able to see something, but you will not be able to help. You will not be able to do anything. Then naturally it is a suffering. It leads to suffering. Same way, I was also struggling. I was able to see, but I couldn't do anything. Anyhow, I left the Varanasi, but the Swami became alright. He did not die. He became alright suddenly. I left the Varanasi after some time. Maybe after a year, I had my own enlightenment experience. After the experience, I came to South. After 2 years, again once more, fortunately, I can say this time fortunately, I was there to attend one more death. Again I was healing one of our devotee in ICU, intensive care unit. I saw one person dying in the intensive care unit. This time, the moment he started dying, slowly the pain started happening. Immediately I just wanted to escape from that place because of the last time memory. I just do not want to stay there. I just don't want to see one more death and carry a little more pain. But after a few seconds, I was able to see very clearly, instead of falling into unconsciousness, that soul fell into the superconsciousness. That being which was dying, instead of falling into unconsciousness, it fell into awareness. I was surprised. And just like how people ski in the snow, just like that the being started flowing from one layer to the other layer. It did not struggle, it did not suffer, it did not undergo any torture, it did not have any pain, it did not have any problem. Just smoothly, beautifully, the being flowed, being moved from one level to other level. I was surprised. And not only that, he just disappeared into the bliss, into the ecstasy. I was surprised. I asked the family people. After a few hours, I slowly spoke to them. I asked them, is he a great meditator? is a enlightened soul. Because normally ordinary people can't die so peacefully. They said meditation. Why? They said that he is not even a religious person. He is not even a religious person, he is an atheist. I was surprised. How could this guy have such a peaceful, beautiful death? First thing, the other soul, first time when I saw the death, that soul was suffering and struggling. And this being, such a peaceful, beautiful death, how? Why? Why that soul has to struggle and the soul is so peaceful and blissful? For him, death is a blessing, so ecstatic. Why should this soul be so blissful, and why should that being suffer, struggle so much? I was just surprised. I was shocked. I started contemplating. I started thinking, how? Why one soul should suffer, the other person, other being should peacefully pass away? After the contemplation or a deep meditation, the knowledge which descended on me, or knowledge which happened to me, or the technology which happened to me is this whole NSP. The Nityananda Spurana is the knowledge or the formula which happened to me after the deep meditation of these two deaths. After the deep contemplation, this technology happened. The suffering is mainly caused by the samskaras, engraved memories, which takes over your being the moment you fall into unconsciousness. What happens in the dream state, the same thing happens in a wild way, in a much more intense way when you pass away. This technology will help you to remove the unnecessary samskaras which is engraved in your layers. You have 7 layers in you, 7 part of your being. Physical layer is the body which you are using now, and the pranic layer is all the prana flow of the prana. Prana is not exactly air. The word air cannot be the right word for prana. Prana is the energy which goes inside through air. Air is like a vehicle. Prana is the stuff which comes inside the vehicle. Prana is a parcel which is brought by the vehicle called air. Prana is a subtle air energy. Pranic body is the air circulation or the prana circulation which is happening inside you. The third, mental body. Mental body is the inner chattering which continuously happens in you. The fourth is etheric body. All your collected emotions is called etheric body. And fifth, causal body is the deep sleep. The deep sleep, what state you fall, that's called causal body. And cosmic body is all your joyful memories. The nirvanic body is your pure consciousness. 7 layers you have. In all these 7 layers, so many unnecessary engraved memories, samskaras are inscribed. Only these samskaras continuously create more and more and more trouble for you. They continuously create more and more misunderstanding. They continuously create more and more trouble. This technology will help you to get those engraved memories out, to make your inner space pure, to make your inner space clean. As of now, it's like your inner space is completely occupied with all your furnitures. You sleep outside the house. You put all the furnitures inside and you are sleeping outside. Now here I am trying to remove few unnecessary furnitures so that you will have place to sleep inside the house. This whole 2 days program is a technique or technology to remove the unnecessary engraved memories from your inner space, so that when you live, you can live blissfully. When you leave, you can live peacefully. Person who doesn't have engrams or the samskaras, for him, death is liberation and celebration. Now I have given few concepts. I know for sure it's very difficult to digest whatever I spoke now. That's why it's so dry actually. It looks like dry. No other way. Sometimes truth is dry and straight. I uttered few words or few concepts, you can say. Now we will start analyzing this whole thing by your questions. Whatever doubt you have about these few concepts I explained, the few stories or concepts which I explained, you are welcome. See one thing, unless you question, you will not allow these ideas to go inside your being. Only when you question, when you interact, you will allow these ideas to penetrate your consciousness. Otherwise, you will not allow, you will not let these ideas enter into your being. Now we will analyze these concepts, these few ideas which I expressed through your questions, so that first we will internalize these understandings, these things. We will internalize these understandings, then we will be able to proceed further. Please understand, this 2 days program is completely experiential. Even if you miss single understanding, you will miss the whole thing. I am not telling you Ramayana, Mahabharata. In India, villages, they will tell this Ramayana, Mahabharata stories. Same story, how many times you will hear? All of us know Rama only will go to forest. Sita will be kidnapped. Then Hanuman will go to Lanka. Ravana will be killed. Then Rama will come back to Ayodhya and start ruling the country. How many times you will listen the whole same story? At least 40% you can see people will be sleeping. Wherever you go, this Ramayana Katha, Bhagavata, 40% you can see people sleeping. So you can afford to sleep in Ramakatha, no problem. Because even if you miss one episode, next episode you can pick up. It's like a TV serial. If you miss one day, next day you can pick up the story. You know the story. You can just put everything together and see. To be able to understand. But here, I am not speaking about how Rama lived. I am speaking about how you are living. So please understand, don't miss even a single episode. Don't miss even a single understanding. Even if you miss one understanding, even if you miss one concept, you will miss the whole thing. Here I am trying to give one more thing. In India, I do this program as 4 days program. 4 days we do NSP in India. Of course, you know, in this country, weekend God. Even if God comes, he has to come in the weekend. So abridged. Of course, I have not removed any meditation technique. But I am using less words to explain the concepts. I have reduced the number of words which I use usually to express every idea. Here I am trying to present just the gist. Please understand. If you don't understand, at least question, so that every one of you will be clear about the whole thing. Then you will be able to move to the next level. To the next level. One more thing. In our initial level programs, Arogya Spurana, Ananda Spurana, LBP, if you do it you will have the benefit. If you don't do, no problem. Nothing. But here, if you don't do and just be here, if you don't want to do these meditations, and just if you want to be here, please be very clear. It will disturb the whole group energy. I am trying to work with the whole group. The whole group will be pushed inside that experience. If you are not interested in doing, and if you are just a onlooker or window shopper, please be very clear, this is not the place for you. The initial level programs are okay. You can come and sit and check out. Nothing wrong. But here, we are going to intensely work. Naturally, you are going to spend many hours. One more. Understanding, please understand. One more thing. You may not be allowed to sleep or eat for next 2 days. Please put up with me. You will be sleeping very late. The program will end very late. I request all of you to reduce the intake, food intake, so that you will be aware, alert continuously to work on yourself. It's an intense program. Unless you are clear about every concept, it will be very difficult to work. It will be very difficult to go further. So I request all of you to understand every inch. Now it is time for you to put your questions about the subject which I expressed now. Yes.
You talked about the samskaras which has been developed over all these years, and the program will. You talked about the samskaras which we have developed all these years, and this program which is going to. My question is it going to eradicate the samskaras, or
I would say it is going to eradicate.
Or it is not.
One thing, it's like we are flooding. We are making your whole being conscious. Naturally, the majority of the samskaras disappears, and there are few which doesn't disappear completely, but the effect of that samskaras on you disappears. There will not be any effect.
Thank you.
It becomes just dead leaf.
My question is about the example where you said an atheist was able to flow through.
Can you be a little loud? Because of the span.
My question is about the example where you mentioned about the atheist flowing through death and going into bliss effortlessly. So where does religion come into play here?
Of course, I do not know where does the religion come into play. Why he passed so peacefully? Why he passed into the death so blissfully? I have not explained that. Maybe after one of the sessions I will explain the whole thing. Then you will understand why he passed peacefully. One by one.
Samskaras and vasanas the same thing?
Yes, samskaras and vasanas are all the same. Yes. No, mic is not open.
Why are we kind of trapped in the cycle of life and death?
Why?
Why are we in the cycle of life and death?
Oh, that you should ask yourself, not me. Why I am in the cycle of life and death, I asked and I found the answer. I am liberated. Now you should ask yourself. Only that can help you. Asking me will not help you. Asking me will give only intellectual answer. Asking you only can give you experiential knowledge or freedom.
There was this friend of ours who teaches photography. He was a very young man, very beautiful person, inside and outside. And suddenly he was shot dead while meditating in
that soul also suffers, undergoes the same thing of suffering. Oh, sorry. Use the mic. Anybody wants to question? Please use the mic.
No matter what life we have been leading before, if we follow exactly what you are telling, the results implement what you are saying.
Naturally. How you lived is not the thing. How you are going to live is the thing.
Swami, what do you do in order to test other spirit beings that are around you at your time of death?
Please a little loud.
What do you do to test other spirit beings that are around you at your time of death?
I'm not able to understand. Can you read? I'm not able to understand the question.
What do you do to test the quality of other spirits that are around you at your time of death?
At your time of death?
Yes.
You don't have to bother about other qualities, other people, other spirits' quality, ma. Your spirit, if it is blissful, that's enough. You don't have to bother about other spirits. And that's not under your control also. So nothing can be done.
Swami, the Vedas talk about Panchakosha, the five bodies.
Of course, the same thing.
Seven.
Panchakosha and 7 layers is one and the same. 100 by 5 is Panchakosha, 100 by 7 is 7 layers, that's all. Same 100, 100 by 5 and 100 by 7. In this way, I am able to work in a deep way, in a detailed way. Helping people is very easy when it's made into 7.
How long does one have to work with the techniques before they start to clear?
Intensely when it is done once is enough. I don't believe in regularly doing. People do regularly because they don't do properly.
In that we can people every day and we don't know what they have
Can you
done.
hold the mic a little near?
Close it to your mouth, close it to your mouth. Right here, close it. Is this better?
Yes.
Better?
Yes. Okay. In that we meet people every single day and you never know what they have done in the past, what kind of karma they have. In order not to have any negative energy from them, how can I liberate myself
First thing.
from their negative
No, no.
energy?
Your positive energy should be so solid. Your positive energy should impress them, influence them, instead of their negative energy influencing you. Create a positive solid energy in you. Naturally you will inspire and impress them, instead of inspired or impressed by them.
When the doctor says the patient is dead, which
First layer only.
Just
When the
first
doctor
layer?
says only first layer, immediately the doctor is declared clinically dead.
Pranic is
No. By the time the physical body is dead, doctors declare person is dead. And you will be surprised, even after 3 months nails will grow. Do you know about it? Nails and hair will continue to grow for 3 months.
You know, I have heard different stories, and I'm sure most of must have heard that people have near-death experience. They died and then they come back, and after 1 day or so they are again back to living. What happens in this process?
There's a website. Any of you heard about the website NDE? There's a website. One doctor did a 30 years long research on that NDE, near-death experience. After meeting 10,000 people who had near-death experience in so many countries, he went around all over the world just to meet these NDE people who are declared medically dead, came back after a few hours. I myself seen an old lady. Of course, in India, every village will have one story like this. In India, every village will have one story. My grandmother was like that. My neighbor was like that. This like these stories. And Sriram, put the fan. And after seeing more than 10,000 people who had near-death experience, NDE. He collected all their experiences. Then he says beautifully, when people are living, they live according to Bible or according to Quran or according to Gita or according to some scripture, Dhammapada. But when they die, all of them die in a same trend, which is described in Upanishad, Kathopanishad. He beautifully describes, after collecting so many death experiences, he says, only when we are living, we all belong to different religion. When we die, all of us are Vedantis. We die in the same way, which is described in Kathopanishad. And he says that there is a light, the tunnel, through which we travel. Between, when we travel, on the way we are attacked by our desires, by our guilt. Desire means I should live like this. Guilt means I should have lived like that. The desire and guilt, they are attacked by all these our emotions. He describes very clearly how the Kathopanishad or our Vedanta describes the death. Same way he describes. In the near-death experience, people travel up to the fifth layer. And the fifth layer is the gate to go inside. You see, till fifth layer, you will be always, the pressure will be come back. After the fifth layer, the pressure will be going in. But till fifth layer, there is a possibility of coming back. These people, after going to the fifth layer, they come back. That's why we say medically dead, but they come back.
Is there a reason for that, or is it just an accident?
I can say it's an accident, because at that point all logic disappears. No logic works.
Sometimes they hear about story about people being in coma for 20 years, 30 years and all.
They are all stuck in the causal body, fifth layer.
They come back again suddenly.
Sometimes, as an accident, they come back. Give a mic here.
So we can have two questions before we go into technology. Can you say two words about this phenomenon of death? And the second question is, can a being foresee that event?
Yes, a person whose mind is clear, not filled with the desire to live, can see very clearly when the death is going to happen. You can see, if you go to your native villages in India, you will have at least 5-6 stories. My grandfather told very clearly when he will die. My grandmother told very clearly when she will die. The predictions, because they lived a very simple life. They were not hanging, or they were not completely caught with the life. So if you are relaxed with your life, naturally you will be able to predict your death.
It goes. Number two is, does one have to be very able to be able to attend this program? What about very old people? Can they attend this program?
One thing about ghost, you ask. Ghost, people who are supposed to, who decide to live 100 years and come down, take the body. If they die due to accident or suicide, or for example 60, when they die when they are 60, next 40 years they will not have next body. So they hang in the spirit level, the ghost level. That's what is the ghost. Next thing, one should be able to attend this program. A little bit of physical fitness is necessary, because it's an intense program. The whole day practically you will be sitting and meditating. You will be doing different techniques. So a little bit of physical ability is necessary. You don't have to be, what to say, like a Pailwan, but a little bit of basic health is necessary.
Swamiji, at the end of the program, how do we know that our samskaras are...
You will see in your understanding in your inner space. You can see now how you feel.
Yes.
And after that, tomorrow evening, you can see how you feel inside.
And can it come back after some time?
That's one of the beautiful. I'll answer this question tomorrow evening. Oh, Samadhi, they just became one with existence. That is what is Samadhi. And if they decide, if they choose, they can assume the body again. That's the reason. Still the masters who passed away, Param Shivananda, Mahavata Babaji, they still give darshan to people. They can assume the body.
In your story, you said that you watched a saint who was good and he had a spiritual experience.
But you are not saint, no. I was attending a monk,
Yeah.
but the monk did not die. Another one person was died.
Oh,
The monk came and he became all right.
So if the monk has, all his sadhus and they don't go through a clinical training?
No, we can't say just because somebody is a monk, he doesn't go through pain. If he has achieved the conscious experience and he is living, only then he passes away peacefully. Otherwise, he also has to suffer. See, there is no such thing as a sannyasi or householder. Person who has achieved conscious experience and person who has not achieved, that's all. Only two categories. Who achieved conscious experience, who has not achieved conscious experience, that's all. There is no sannyasi or householder. And that is just superficial, social. Sannyasi or householder is social. Consciously, how intensely you live, what's your life, how your lifestyle was, only that matters. And one more thing, it's a truth, even though it is very controversial truth, but truth, let me very clearly explain, the truth has to be explained. I saw very clearly, you neither carry your sin nor your merits. Please be very clear, it's very controversial thing and very difficult to digest, I know, but the truth is truth. Neither people carry their sin nor they carry their merits. Then immediately we'll ask, then we can do whatever sins we can. We can do whatever we want. Be very clear. You carry only the mental setup. For example, if somebody does 100 murders, he carries the mental setup of killing others. That very mental setup tortures him. It's not that the number, 100 murders he did, that number is not carried, but the mental setup is carried with him. The mental setup only continuously tortures him. It continues to torture him. Here, I saw very clearly, consciously, neither a person carries his sins or merits. Please be very clear, your sin or merit is just social. It is not experiential. One more thing, to tell you honestly, people don't do sin acts and go to hell. They do sinful things because they are in hell. You will not do a mistake if you are completely blissful within yourself. Will you harm anybody if you are blissful within yourself? No. You harm somebody, you disturb somebody if you are in hell. So the very attitude of doing mistake itself is a punishment. Of course, what I am saying is a very high level truth. Very difficult to digest. But the truth is truth. Logically, if you analyze, you see, if you are a small child, we can be threatened by fear and greed. We can say, hey, if you don't do that, I'll beat you. If you do that, I'll give you candy. Even after growing up, you need candy. Even after growing up, why do you need the hell and heaven? Please understand, if you are moral based on fear or greed, your morality is just skin deep. Just skin deep. Very powerful but true. Please do not be moral based on fear or greed. Let your morality be based on your understanding. Be moral after understanding the life. You will not kill somebody just so that he will not kill you, that's all. It's an understanding. It's an understanding. Don't be moral out of fear. Then, if you know that you will not be caught, you will never be reluctant to do any sin. Do not be moral out of fear or greed. Let your morality be out of your understanding.